Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so thrilled to have on an incredible country music singer, songwriter, and entertainer who's been doing sold-out shows this whole past year, and I predict more in next year. Priscilla Block. Priscilla, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like I know you already because, like, before your career just, exploded in a great way, you and I had talked on social media. And I said, hey, when you're releasing stuff, let's bring you on the Rock and Review. And you're like, oh, sure. And then your tours, you've been selling out every show this past year, and there was no time.
It's been crazy. I know. I'm glad that we've been able to make some time for it. Now I can breathe a little bit. But yeah, it's been absolutely just such a whirlwind of a year. And I'm like, what is going on?
Well, and everybody has been raving about you. Obviously, all the magazines, all the trade magazines, and also with Welcome to the Block Party, you have your own block party sound. It's like it has to feel good, being an artist to watch by CMT and by all these other magazines, and obviously they were right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, well, I'm here. It's really cool. I didn't, I've been in Nashville for 9 years now, just
so you're an instant success.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just this overnight success. Hello, hi, my name's Priscilla. But no, it's really cool, just getting that cred and like seeing people get behind it and believing in me and just like being here today. It's awesome, Well,
and I think through your social media and through your music and obviously through your concerts, you just come across as just yourself. And I think is what is winning people over. And like with your TikToks and everything that you've done, it's like, you really built a fan base out of that. I was telling you, I was at a high school and I told them I was going to have Priscilla Block on there. Like, oh my gosh, we love her. It's like, what a fan base.
It's wild. I mean, hey, I'm glad this thing has worked out, just me being me. You know what I mean? When I moved out here, I wanted to be the next Taylor Swift, and I wanted to be Carrie Underwood and all of this stuff. And like, I remember it was, a couple years ago when I wrote Thick Thighs, it was kind of when I realized that I felt like I had something new to say, and I kind of figured out who I was as an artist. I always had these people that I looked up to, but it's been cool that I've just been able to like unapologetically be me. Either people like it or they don't. I don't care. I'm here. And hey, if the high schoolers are behind it, we're good, right?
Exactly. Well, and I love the video when you did the Opry. And it's like, behind the scenes at the Opry, it's like, what an iconic time. And seeing you up there, and I was at the Opry when you're performing, it's like, it was powerful.
Yeah, like when I think of country music and like growing up, you think of the Grand Ole Opry, like that is the staple place. And so when they called and asked me to play, I was just like, yeah, when y'all want me to come, I'll come tomorrow, I'll come today. So it was just so special, and being in that circle and in that room, it's one of the best feelings I think I'll ever feel.
Well, and also the great outfits. You are a fashionista.
Thanks.
So everywhere you go, you have the coolest fashions,
well,
and it's
thanks.
like, that's pretty amazing. I was going to bring up too. You were mentioning some of your heroes and everything, and you've shared stages with a lot of these in the past year or two with Kelsey Ballerini and Dierks Bentley and all these people. And next year, we're going to make the announcement.
Yeah.
You're on tour with Shania Twain.
I don't even, what? Like, people say it and it still hasn't even registered. She's an icon. The fact, we're doing 4 dates with her. And when we got the call, I was like, absolutely. Like, can we go tomorrow? I'm so excited just to kind of see it and learn so much. Shania has been such an inspiration my whole life.
Right.
And I think a lot of the reason why I am the artist that I am right now is because of Shania. So it's super exciting that I get to go.
Well, I think it's so cool with your honesty too, and obviously through your songs and through this album, and I know you're working on new music, but you've been very honest about your breakups and with life in general, and I think people can relate to that.
Well, thanks. I'll let y'all use my life to relate to. No, I like to write songs about real stuff, and that has been breakups. I talk about being a curvy girl. I talk about the highs and lows of life, and that's the kind of music that I relate to. is being able to find those songs that you can kind of find yourself in. So the response from everybody has just been so special, and people share their stories, their breakup stories, their life stories, and it's just cool that I can maybe be like a little bit of a inspiration. I don't know how inspiring it is, but hey, like.
I think it's definitely inspirational, because I think that, you know, everybody is trying to find themselves, and you know, and particularly, you know, with all of us, nobody feels they look the best or feel the best, but to hear that honesty, it's like, it's okay being me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you impart in your music.
And people love that. Like, people just like real. And I'm just really thankful that that's how this whole thing has happened, with just me being able to unapologetically be myself, and it's been fun. Speaking
of which, the single that you did with a kind of well-known country artist, Justin Moore.
Yes, I don't even know what. It's just crazy. Like, every single day, I'm like, all right, I've reached the peak of life, and then, you know, something crazy happens, and then you got Shania calling. It's just wild. So Justin, I've been a huge fan of him for so long. I mean, I used to play up and down Broadway, and I'd be singing, you know, Justin Moore songs. Huge fan, and he called and asked if I wanted to be on the single, and here we are.
And it's going to be on his new album too.
Yeah, it's at country radio right now, which is crazy.
And your voices sound so good together.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just such a nice juxtaposition with his voice and your voice together, and obviously why that song is doing so well.
Well, thanks. It's my first ever duet, so just such an easy yes for me, and I love the song so much.
Well, I got to bring this up too. You know, you've been here 9 years. You came out of Raleigh, North Carolina, worked a lot of jobs here in Nashville,
I did.
Including the yogurt shop.
Yes.
So you got to tell me about this whole thing. You know, how you ended up meeting Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Crazy.
Working at the yogurt shop in between performing up and down Broadway.
Yeah, I mean, whatever I had to do to pay my bills, that's kind of what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, being an artist is something that I've wanted to do since I feel like I could talk. So growing up, I was a big Taylor Swift fan. She just inspired me to start writing, and kind of started kind of my sound, you know. It was this 15-year-old girl singing Taylor Swift songs, and I moved to Nashville right out of high school. I'm working at this yogurt shop, and it was called Sweet Cece's. It's not even there anymore. But I had called my sister, and it was a very, very hard year. Just being so young and fresh somewhere, not knowing a single person in town. It was wild. So I had called my sister, and I was like, hey, like, I feel like it might be time for me to go back home and, like, you know, figure out my life. This is just not what I thought it was gonna be. And that day, no kidding, Taylor Swift, I was leaving work, and I happened to be wearing a Taylor Swift t-shirt. And she was driving by, she saw me, pulls her car over on the side of the road, and, like, opens up her car door, was like, hey, like, I love your shirt so much. And I'm, like, looking over at her, I'm like, oh my God, I love you. Like, this is crazy. And it was just such a special moment, and everything that I needed that very second to like keep going, keep chasing this thing. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. And I kid you not, I quit my job, I quit school, and I was like, I'm gonna go figure out how to do music.
Wow. And you know, it's such an interesting thing to me also, Priscilla, and I think for other artists who want to achieve what you have now, to where, you know, you did it in your own way and with social media. And you use that as a tool, but also to show your music and to show you.
Yeah. You know, I think that everyone, you know, everyone's path in music is different, and in life is different. And whether you get discovered playing in a bar or you are knocking down every single door, and let me just tell you, I was trying it all. Like, anything that I could do to get anybody to try and care and notice is what I was doing. And during the pandemic, I wasn't able to play in the bars. I wasn't able to, like, go out and do what I was doing. So I just decided to turn to social media, and there was a very, like, specific night that I was like, I'm gonna make social media my full-time job if I can't play in the bars. And here we are. So well, and it worked.
And that's where I first heard you. And it's like, when I heard the songs on here, that's when I reached out. I said, I've got to get you on the show. And that's before the album and all this
The
other
label,
stuff. Yeah.
all of it.
So during the pandemic, I heard you singing and playing. I'm like going, I got to get this gal on my show.
It's crazy. I think what was so special and what made that moment, because I've been on social media. I've had tons of YouTube videos and all of that, but it was a time where everyone was at home. They were on their phones.
Right.
And I just kind of started playing in my bedroom and posting 20 videos a day, like all day. I'm like, oh, all right, going to work today in the kitchen on TikTok. It's crazy.
And it worked.
And that's when, Nashville kind of was like, who is this girl? I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. My name's Priscilla. Let's get this thing rolling.
Well, I got to ask a very important question now. Obviously, going into next year, you've had sold out tours all year long, just incredible. The fans loving you. Are you going to have special clothing for the Shania? And eventually I expect Taylor Swift to come knocking on your door to do tour with her as well. Are you going to have like your own fashion line? What are you doing here?
Oh my God, well, I want it all, yes. I would love to have a fashion line, probably at Walmart. I don't know. Like, I definitely, I love like fashion and creating, outfits that just have a lot of personality and stuff like that. But there's going to be, you follow me on social media,
Right.
so you see the crazy outfits.
I love it.
Yeah, I just like, anything that's outrageous, she's probably wearing. So yes, there's going to be some really cool outfits.
So you might have like matching jumpsuits with Shania then also.
Yeah. Well, put that on the list. I might have to. Maybe somebody from my team can call her and see if that might be a thing.
And
but
coordinate it.
Totally down. Yes.
Well, and I don't want to give anything away, but I know that you're constantly writing new music, and you're working on new music already. Even though "Welcome to the Block Party," huge success.
Thank you.
And the singles, and obviously the duet with Justin Moore.
Yeah.
When are you looking at rolling out more singles and more music in the next year?
Hopefully soon. I stay writing, as much as I can. So that's like my thing. It's like I want more music out there, and I want to be able to be in front of more people's eyes,
Right.
all over the world. So those are two things that I definitely want to tackle this year. And
And
I
think your fans are hungry for it too.
yes. Yeah.
So, when you're selling out shows this fast, you came out of the pandemic and just off on the road you went.
Yeah.
And just touring away. What's it like when you go back home now?
Oh, it's crazy. It's weird. Like, Nashville has really become my home. A lot of my family live out here now. But anytime I get to go back to North Carolina, it's just everyone is like, whoa, she did it. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Because not too long ago, I was like, all right, bye, guys. Like, in my little U-Haul with my Chevy Malibu. See y'all next time. And it's worked. So I think everyone's just like super excited, and it's really special to like have the hometown support.
Mm-hmm. And it shows, from your own, you did this yourself too, and it gives people hope.
Thank you.
And with the incredible music. Well, I want to make sure for our viewers, Priscilla, for your website, social media, especially TikTok,
Yes.
where all should they go for all things Priscilla Block?
You can, I'm Priscilla Block, so you just Google Priscilla Block. Who knows what you find on there, but you can find my website, all the social things, and yeah.
And eventually a new fashion line.
And hopefully a new fashion line at Walmart.
And if you haven't done it already,
anywhere.
if you haven't done it already, you've got to add her entire album to your playlist. Also the song with Justin Moore, the duet,
Yes.
which is amazing. There's going to be more new music. Be sure and get your tickets also for Priscilla and Shania on tour this coming year, and possibly other big news that we can't tell yet. Priscilla Block, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.